When the Four Horsemen announced that the February Valentines build would be this Hot Wheels Volkswagen Beetle pickup, I can't say that I was thrilled. As much as I love Volkswagen Beetles, there's just something about this casting that I don't really like or I haven't liked. I've customized one of these before. I did it in the early days of my YouTube channel. That build didn't go exceptionally well, and maybe that's kind of botched this casting up for me in a way. But then I was driving through town the other day and I saw the Crumbl Cookies pickup. And it's pink with the Crumbl Cookies logo all over it. And I finally had a direction for this thing. And pink for Valentine's, for a Valentine's build, and Crumbl Cookies because, well, I don't know about you, but I sure wouldn't mind getting, Crumbl Cookies for any occasion. Valentine's Day or any other. So I decided that's the direction I was going to go. I shaved off that beacon that's on the top of the roof that just seems goofy to me. Got rid of that, decided I wanted to enclose the bed. If this thing is going to be carrying around cookies, you're not going to throw them under a tarp. So I decided to enclose it, so I got out the scrap styrene, cut out a piece of styrene, sized it up, and used some CA glue to hold it in place. And that all works out well, and I was really happy with how that went. What I end up doing to smooth it out after I put the styrene in is I use some Bondo spot putty, put a real thin skim coat on the top of that styrene. I did through the hole in the bottom too. I added some CA glue just to really stiffen up that styrene. I was tempted to fill that whole bed in with JB Weld. Decided against it because I didn't want to have to go through the trouble of altering the insert that has some parts that stick up into the bed of the truck. So once I had that all smoothed up, I hit it with some primer. I thought it was looking pretty good at that point. So I hit it with Rust-Oleum. Yes, Rust-Oleum. A candy pink paint. And the Minwax Poly is after everything's done. That's the clear coat I use. I made up some custom Crumbl Cookies decals for this. Sized them up for what I thought would look good on this casting. And so there's a variety of sizes that you're going to see on here. And I had fun doing that. I did those in Adobe Illustrator. I captured the images online, made the backgrounds transparent, and then just, adjusted sizes that I want, measured them up, figured out what I wanted. I did also come up with just some little round headlights as well, headlight decals. I thought about painting white behind the headlights or using white toner. Decided against it. I wanted the pink to kind of even show through the headlights. So that, once the decals were on and it dried sufficiently, I hit that with that clear poly. It was time then to do a lot of this other stuff. So I decided to strip the chrome off the base. I wanted basically the bumpers and undercarriage to be black. I didn't want any chrome on it. No chrome bumpers. Went with the Real Rider Set 4. You see the oval track thick wheels and Real Rider tires that are in that set. Those are the ones I chose for this. The axles are a little long, so I cut using axle tube. I slid an axle into the axle tube and then just roll the X-Acto knife over it to cut two very small little, let's just call them little donuts in effect. And you'll see here, and I'll bring it up here a little closer to the camera. There's the two little pieces that I then, after I cut the axles down to size, I slide those onto the axle. And you'll see that here in a second. You can see those axles are just way too long. But I do appreciate then that when Hot Wheels sends those sets out, they give you a long axle. They don't give you just a little short axle. These axles are long. You may need to cut them down to size. Some people don't cut them at all. They just leave them at length and then just push the tires in. I prefer to finish them off a little bit better than that, so I don't have to kind of make the illusion of the wheels being in that spot. They actually just won't go any farther out. So after sliding those little donuts on the cut axle, I hit it with a little CA glue, and then I slide that little donut piece back to the end of the axle. So the CA glue's on at that point, and then I just slide it, as you'll see here. The nice point about using the axle tube is it fits nicely over that axle, and it actually recesses into the wheel in this particular case. So that stuff's off and done. And now I decided I wanted to paint some of the interior. I wanted the seats to be pink, so I just quickly mixed up some pink, very little amount of red into white. And then I just brush paint the seats. That's all that I did pink on the interior were the seats. I did make the steering wheel silver. On the completed build, you will be able to see those seats, which is kind of cool. So everything's finished at this point. It's a matter of just popping the wheels on. I was really happy with these wheels. And the more I look at these real rider wheel sets, more often than not, I'm able to find something I like in those boxes for the builds. The glass was nothing special. There's not much of the glass that shows. The windshield is exceptionally tiny. Drop the interior in and then drop the base on that. Again, you can see on the base, it is just all, the chrome is stripped off all of it. I like the looks of the black bumpers and the side panels. And you'll see that here in a second. Because of the decals being black, and I think that contrasts well with the pink paint. I think, for me, I don't think it'd look as good if those were chrome. And I do add a little more detail. I add the tail lights, I add the door handles in chrome. Very little accents, but not like the big chrome bumpers, anything like that. And there you see the side panels as well are chrome originally. So you'll see where it ended up here in a second. I'd like to thank the Four Horsemen for hosting this invitational and for making me revisit this casting that I wasn't too happy with before. But revisiting it, I'm really happy with the results here. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what other people do with this casting. And maybe I'll revisit this casting again at some point in the future. Now that I have a good experience with it. Be sure and check out the Four Horsemen YouTube channel. I will have a link to that in the description of this video. Check out all of the other builders participating in this event. And there's some glamour shots coming up. I hope you like what I did with this. And thanks for watching. Everybody stay safe and healthy out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.